Greetings! Great to see you again today. How are you doing? Today, I am working on a few different recipes that I am tweaking for a new book I'm bringing out, a new cookbook. This one wine I have done a few times and I think I've mastered it. So I'm ready to bring it to YouTube and then it'll go into my next book about medicinal, paganic wines and spirits, literally spirits. This wine is a nutmeg wine. I've been wanting to bring this wine to YouTube and to a book for a while. This wine we have to be quite careful about because if you overdo the nutmeg, you'll be seeing things. You'll be up there flying around, tripping out, going a little bit ooh, willy, 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 wonky, because these little nuts do contain a psychoactive property that will send you on a wonderful, blonde, big trip. You'll start saying all sorts of weird, gobbledygook, wonderful madness stuff if you have too much of it, especially combined with alcohol. So here is a typical disclaimer. If you're pregnant, if you don't want to risk any chance of having any type of psychoactive trip from eating nutmegs, which you'll find in the average rice pudding, don't make this wine. We are not going to be using enough nutmeg in the 1 gallon of wine to cause any type of psychoactive trip, properties, hallucinations, green dragons, making you go all balmy at all, honestly. The average adult would need to consume at least 3 whole nutmegs in one sitting to have any type of effect. So the amount we're putting into the wine is well within that limit. But this is your wine. If you want to add a shitload of nutmeg for that effect, who's to know? Who's to stop you? I don't know. Anyway, if you want to add less, just on the safe side, add less. It's your wine, make it your way. As always, play around your recipe, develop the wine to suit your needs and your palate and your desired effects. We are going to be using about 1.5 nutmeg per gallon. And to save my wrist from all that grating of the nutmegs, I'm going to be using ground nutmeg. It's easier, it's simpler. You can just measure it in and Bob's your uncle. For this recipe, we want to be adding 1.5 teaspoons of nutmeg or 1.5 whole nutmegs, they are equal, into your pot. So adding 1.5 teaspoons, I should measure, shouldn't I, before I overdo it. Now this wine will be sweet, almost sherry-like, almost like a Bristol cream-esque type of wine. And we want to add some acidity to it. So we are going to add the juice and rind of 1 orange and 1 lemon, 1 orange, 1 lemon, into the pot. Slice your orange and your lemon, squeeze it in, job's a good one. And on top of your nutmeg and your orange and lemon, we want to throw in 1.5 kilograms granulated sugar. And now we want to pour over 4 litres of boiling water on top of the mix and get that sugar dissolved. And now we are going to place this on the stove and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Not boil it, just let it simmer about 15 minutes. So I'll be back with you once this has simmered away. Right, now that nutmeg, lemon, orange juice has been simmering away for about 10 minutes on the stove. Not boiling, but just simmering away under the boil. And I have to say, it smells divine. It's brilliant. So what we need to do now is simply add in 1 mug of tea, because the tannins really help with the mouthfeel and the texture of the wine on the tongue. Then once your mix has cooled down, we want to put it into a clean, sterilised, sanitised demijohn. So we are simply going to pour in the liquid into the demijohn. Fantastic. What we need to do now is simply sprinkle in a bit of general purpose wine yeast along with some yeast nutrients to give it that nudge so fermentation can take effect and get going really easily and really quickly without stressing the yeast out. You always know when the must for your wine is at the right temperature for adding your yeast, because it should be the temperature of a nursing mother's milk. So use that as your guideline. When it's that temperature, carry on and go for it. And now we want to be adding a clean airlock to the demijohn. and let it stand for a few days. Allow that fervid, vigorous, luscious fermentation to take place. Let it froth and foam and create all this lovely new life in there. Let the yeast work amongst the nutmeg and the lemon and the orange and the sugar. Let it become divine. Then, once that initial stage is over, once the yeast has calmed down, gone past its peak, gone past its fervour, we want to top it up to the net level, to the top of the demijohn, with cold water. Let it stand. Let it carry on fermenting a bit longer, another few weeks, 3, 4 weeks, who knows? It's in the lap of the gods, literally. It's sat there on the lap, enjoying itself. Keep it warm. Then, rack it off and allow to stand and mature, to become one. Then drink and enjoy. And I will see you in the next video, which I honestly believe will keep the plague away. In the meantime, why don't you check out this video up by here, which I truly do believe you will enjoy. You have a good day now. I know I will.